What is up, my cranky crew? It's Ethan from CrankGameplays, and I'm finally back! If you're wondering where I went, because videos were still going up while I was gone, and this video is actually a little bit late, because I went to PAX East, and I ended up getting stranded in Boston, which was a fun time, because I had videos planned up until the day after that I was supposed to come back, but then I got stranded 2 more days in Boston because there was this huge snowstorm, and I had to stay back in Boston because my flight actually wasn't canceled, but I thought it was gonna get canceled, so I just didn't go because there was so much snow and stuff, but then it actually still went anyway. So, whoopsies. But yeah, so this past weekend, I went to PAX East, and it was so amazing. It was probably, honestly, I think it was the best convention that I've ever been to. I mean, I've been to PAX East in the past, but it was like the best convention experience that I've had so far. It was so much fun. I got to meet an insane amount of you guys, and I got to hang out with all my friends, and I got to do a lot of really cool stuff, and I had such a fun time, and I hope that for those of you who went to PAX East, I hope that you guys also had a fun time, and I hope that you got to say hi to me, because I know that there were a lot of you guys there that wanted to say hi, and I wanted to say hi to all of you guys, but unfortunately, I couldn't get to everybody, which always sucks going to conventions. Like, it's always really awesome meeting all of you guys and getting to say hi and seeing all my friends and stuff, but I never get to say hi to everybody, which always sucks. Like, not even just, like, you guys, but also my friends, too. Like, I never see everybody that I want to see, and it always, while it's all super fun and amazing, it's always like, oh man, I wish I like got to see this person, or I feel bad because these people didn't get to say hi or whatever. So it's always good and bad going to conventions, but it's always overwhelmingly good, and I'm always super glad and thankful that I can go to these conventions and see all of you guys. And like, this PAX East was super special too, just because it was the first PAX East that I've been to since moving out to LA, and obviously like a lot of things have changed since moving to LA, and PAX East was the first convention that I ever went to, which I think 2014 was the first PAX East that I ever went to. It was either 2014 or 2015. I think it was 2014, because the first year that I ever went to PAX East, I went entirely as just like a person going to PAX. I wasn't like a YouTuber back then. I mean, I was making videos, but I wasn't like serious about making videos at that point. And I don't even think that anybody, the first PAX East that I went to, I don't think anybody noticed me there. But I went with my dad, and so and for the past couple of years, except for last year, my dad didn't come with me. And my dad was actually able to come on Sunday of this year, which was really cool. So if you went to the panel with me and Bob and Wade and Jack that was on Sunday, my dad actually stepped in on that, which was really cool to have him there, because he's never seen me do a panel before live. Like, he's seen some of the recordings and stuff before, but he's never actually been at one of the panels that I've been a part of. So that was really cool to have my dad there and just like have my dad see all the stuff that I do at conventions now, because it's very different from when he and I used to go when I was like still in high school, because we would just like walk around and see the stuff, and now it's like very different from when I used to go to PAX. But again, PAX East it holds a special place in my heart, because I used to go with my dad every year for like 3-ish years, I think, because this was the 4th year? I can't remember, but it was always just like a big part of my year being like, yeah, me and dad are gonna go to PAX, and it's gonna be awesome. So PAX East is really cool, and it's in Boston, which is on the East Coast, which is where I grew up. And actually, before PAX East, we all went a little bit early. Everybody, so me, Catherine, Amy, Tyler, Mark, we all went a little bit early, and we actually got to go to Portland, Maine, which is where I grew up, and I showed them around where I grew up and where I've lived for basically the past 20 years of my life. So it was really cool and really special to show them, where I used to live, and I introduced them to a lot of my family and stuff, and a lot of my friends back home. And we went to a trampoline place, which was fun, and it was just all around a good time. It's always really good to be home, and I miss my friends and family a lot, so it was super good to see them. But then we went to PAX, and it was really good to be in Boston again too, because I used to go to Boston a lot, because it's only like 2-ish hours away from where I used to live, so I used to go down there quite a bit, and so it was just really awesome getting to see my friends, both like my friends that I grew up with and my family, but also like people from YouTube that I only get to see when I go to conventions and stuff. And it's always just really awesome to hang out with people that are like in the same mindset, because whenever I talk about YouTube with other people, normally it's like me explaining what YouTube is and like how it works. But when you go to conventions, it's like everybody here knows about YouTube. Like we all do YouTube. I mean, not everybody at PAX, but like all of my friends and stuff that I meet up with at PAX. Like I don't have to explain to them what YouTube is and how it works because they do it themselves. And so it's awesome being around those people that do the same kind of thing that you do and that share the same passions as you do. It's really awesome. And then just like being in that area with so many creative people and you're just like talking about YouTube stuff and just like sharing different ideas about videos, it's really, really awesome. And it's super motivating too, because whenever I go to a convention, I always just like get this jolt of motivation afterwards, because like just seeing all of you guys and seeing all of my friends that do YouTube and just like talking about it and sharing ideas and stuff, it's just like, I want to do more, I want to make more videos. So I always get super, super excited after PAX, especially after meeting all of you guys, and just like getting to see you guys in person is so special. Like, and it really puts things into perspective too, because like the signings that I did, I think the signings, I'm not sure what the caps were on the signings actually, because me and Brian did a signing and it capped immediately, which was it was only an hour signing, which is actually kind of short, but then they texted me and they were like, hey, your signing capped immediately, can we extend it? So then we extended it to like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something, which is only enough time to meet like 100 to 150 people. I'm not exactly sure how many people were there, but it really puts things into perspective, because when you see like 150 people lined up, you're like, wow, that's a lot of people. And then like I think about it and I'm like, there's almost 300,000 people that are subscribed to the channel now, which is absolutely insane. So it really puts it into perspective, and like every day like tens of thousands of people watch my videos, which is just like, it's so insane. And it's so cool meeting you guys and just like being able to give you guys hugs and just hearing your stories about like how the channel has affected you. It's really, really cool, and it's super special. And it's like some of the best times that I've had on YouTube have been at conventions, and this past convention, PAX East 2017, was one of the best conventions, if not the best one that I've ever gone to. It was really cool, and it was really special, and I had a lot of new experiences because the channel like just started really growing a lot, and so there was a lot of new things that happened over PAX East that I'd never experienced before. So it was just really, really awesome, and I'm so lucky that I got to do that. And I'm so excited for the panels I'm so excited for conventions in the future, because I want to do more panels and stuff. And I got to be a part of that panel with Bob, Jack, and Wade, which was really fun. And then I also got to be a part of Mark's panel, which was absolutely insane being a part of that, because we went in for mic check and we were just like doing audio tests and stuff, and it was at the main stage, and I had never actually been to the main stage at PAX East before. And we went out on stage before everybody had gotten there, and I think that room was like 2,500 to 3,000 people could be seated in that room. And just like looking at the massive sea of chairs, I was like, that's a lot of people. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fill this room, that's a lot. But then we went out on stage and like so many seats were filled up. I'm not sure if we filled up the entire place, but the majority of the main stage was just filled up, and it was so crazy just like seeing that many people out there, just like watching us be assholes on stage. But it was really fun, and we got to do some fun improv and got to do some Q&A for you guys, and it was just really special. Again, this was one of my first conventions after moving out to LA, and it's just really cool seeing the support that you guys give me, like, is so much more than I expect. Because like when we went out on stage and stuff, and Mark like introduced me, like so many people in the audience were like cheering and stuff. I'm like, that's so weird. Like I didn't think that many people like know who I am. I don't know. it's just really cool knowing that, like, you guys support what I do as well. And it's so crazy, like, doing signings and stuff. Like, me and Brian did a signing, like I said, and it capped immediately. And it was just, like, seeing the support was so crazy. And, like, seeing how many of you guys are directly, like, affected by my videos and really enjoy my videos and my personality is really cool and super heartwarming. And it was so amazing meeting so many of you. I've never met so many people before that have watched the channel, so it was just really special, and I can't thank you guys enough. So if you guys met me at PAX East, it was so wonderful meeting you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy weekend to come and say hi to me, and it was so awesome taking pictures and just talking to you guys. And for those that couldn't go to PAX East, I'm sorry that you couldn't go this year, but I hope that you get to go to a different convention that I'm at, or I hope that we bump into each other at some point, because it's just so awesome meeting you guys. It's so much fun. And it was crazy seeing the amount of gifts that I got too. I had so many boxes just like filled with gifts, which they should be sending soon. And I haven't actually done the gift opening thing from PAX South yet because I wanted to do it, and then I just like, things got really busy. And so I want to combine the two, so PAX South and PAX East, and just make a mega gift opening video. So that'll be really fun. So that'll be coming out pretty soon once I get that box of stuff. But you guys made some super cool art and just some really cool stuff for me, and I got so many letters and stuff. And for those of you wondering about letters, because a lot of people were like, did you get my letter, blah blah, they all put it in like a big box, and I have been reading them, but I won't read them on camera or anything, just because it's more personal stuff and I don't want to share that. But you guys have said some really nice things, and I just can't thank you guys enough. It was such a fun weekend, just like seeing all of my friends and getting to hang out with people that I don't get to hang out more with. Like, I don't get to hang out with my YouTube friends more than like a couple times a year. And so it's always super special just hanging out with people and just like talking. And it's different from just like recording, because we're all just like getting ready to record and we're all amped up and stuff and blah blah in recording mode. But it's so nice to just like hang out and just talk and like be there in front of each other, you know? It's just, it's so cool. Conventions are so special, so thank you guys so much for being a part of it. I hope that for those of you who went to PAX East, I hope that you had a good experience. It was super fucking cold in Boston too. I forgot how cold the East Coast gets, but there was a bunch of snow, and that's why I missed my flight, was because of all of the crazy amounts of snow that happened over the last couple days of PAX, but it was so fucking cold, and it was so windy, which made it even worse. Like, we were just like walking up to the convention center, just being like, oh my god, it's so cold, my ears, they're frozen. So I definitely won't miss that about Boston. But overall, it was a great weekend. So thank you guys so much who came out to that. Thank you to all of my friends who I got to hang out with. It was so much fun hanging out with you guys. And also, thank you so much for everybody who worked at PAX or volunteered. It was so awesome. You guys were so great and so helpful. Like, we wouldn't have been able to do anything if it weren't for the enforcers and like the people at Maker and stuff that helped us out and helped me out. So just a big shout out to those guys, because they do so much awesome work, and I feel like they don't get appreciated enough, but I really appreciate them a lot. They do really amazing work, and they helped out so much. So now I'm back to normal videos. Hopefully this video isn't too late, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to slap that like button right in the face, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you all. Stay cranky. Bye.